All right. Well, this is our launch call for our body reboot. This is going to be a 5-week challenge for you to be able to go all in with our health program. I just lost my voice for some reason right at 7:01. But my name is Dee Fortune, and I have been a coach for 13 years. And we have done numerous challenges like this, and with always great success. And a big reason why they're successful is there's just something about the power of making a commitment to start something and to start something for a specific time frame. And I'm really hoping that you'll work with your coach to set a goal of what it is you do want to accomplish during these next 5 weeks. So just a specific time-oriented goal so that that will create enough tension in you that you will do the things daily to be able to get there. And James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, he always says, or it's Brendan Burchard, he says, the way that we have an optimal life, the way that we have a successful life is we start by having a successful day. Right. And then a successful day compounds into multiple days and it compounds into there. So we're going to talk about the details and all of that in just a minute. But I wanted to welcome you to hear a story because I know I can just tell by on this call, we've got a variety of people who are going to be in this challenge. Right now, I think we're at about 75 people who are registered. And there are a variety of brand new clients, some people who have never, like tomorrow is day one, never had a fueling before starting. Some of you guys have started. We had our special Commit to Health. You came in during that time period, just using this as an opportunity to continue. And some of us are existing clients and coaches that maybe we've slipped up on our habits a little bit. Like we're all human. It's easy to slip up. And, we're deciding that, going to make a commitment and actually use this opportunity to work with a group of people to move my health forward. So, Pat, I'm going to introduce you just to really share with the group, what's been going on with you, not only in your history with Optavia, but in this past week or so.
Okay, thanks, Dee. I'm glad to have something good to talk about. It's been a while. Just for anybody that doesn't know me, I started Optavia. I lost my weight 6 years ago. I lost 55 pounds, and I kept it off for the most part for about 4 years. And then over the last couple of years, it started creeping up. And then the last since summer, I had a lot of life going on. My dad died. I had 2 grandbabies. I've got family nearby, so some of it was celebrating too much, and some of it was eating my feelings and just really getting into some bad habits. Back to my old, whenever we went out, not making wise choices, and so I put on. The good news is, even after 6 years, I'm still down probably 25 pounds from where I started, which is only about 10 from where it's about 10 pounds more than where I thought I wanted to be originally. This is the only plan I've ever done where I lost the weight I thought I wanted to lose. And then I felt so good, I just kept going and found that I really feel better at a lower weight. So now I want to get back down there. So I'm not in a terrible place, but not, I'm starting to feel the same pains in my feet and knees and back and not as much energy. And I'm taking care of two of my grandchildren now daily. And so I need that extra energy and a little less weight on me since I'm carrying their weight. And I've tried to restart. I keep coming back to D. And so I don't know that I have the magic pill, but one of the things I would say is don't be afraid to keep coming back, keep restarting. If I hadn't kept restarting, then I would have gained all my weight back. So even though I'm still not where I want to be, don't be afraid to restart. My second best tip is you're doing the right thing here. You're not doing it alone. Doing it with other people, especially plugging in with your coach. I send my weight right now while I just got back to, I guess I started on the 17th. So it's been, I don't know, a little over 10 days or so. And I've lost, I think 7 pounds. And so that's the most I've lost, I think, since I started in that short a time period. So I've really stuck to it. I'm really super excited to have those results. But I send my weight to D every morning or every other day or so. And just that extra accountability, do what you need to do to stay accountable. And I would also say, if you've got any kind of big event coming up, or maybe not a big event, but a challenge. Like I've had a thing at my church where everybody brought potluck, and I've had a birthday party for my grandson. Treat those things instead of, oh, well, maybe I'll just get through this and just have a little bit of cheat. Treat it as a challenge, because if you can get through those hard times and not cheat, then you've got that under your belt, and it's easier to make it through other times. And the more you give yourself grace and let yourself not cheat, but make the wrong choice for your goals, then the easier it is to make that wrong choice again, and vice versa. And just don't listen to that voice that comes in your brain that says, either I'm not going to be able to do this, or I can't do this again. I'm not, I used to be able to do it, but I can't do it anymore. It's just not true. We can do it. We can do hard things. And when you slip up, don't think, okay, next Monday. Think, okay, when's 3 hours? Start the next fueling, do the next right thing. So anyway, it feels really good to be back on track, and just praying that I can stay here. Again, I don't have it all figured out, but right now I'm on a good roll.
That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing. Put a 7 in the chat or just raise your hand if you would like to be down 7 pounds in 10 days. Yeah. Like, what would that feel like, you guys? Right. And Pat, what are the what are the non-scale victories, right? It's one thing to step on the scale, but you had talked about your knees hurting, your hips hurting, et cetera. Like, what are the things you're experiencing that make this worth it?
Physically, I think I was telling my husband this morning, I can feel, I probably haven't lost that many inches, but I do feel just less bloated and less big and through my middle. I just, in your brain, you just feel better about yourself. It gives, so that, I feel like I have more energy, but I don't know if it's just feeling better about myself instead of just, it just cheers you up. It just makes you feel better. So I think that with the energy and just knowing that you can do it, it just does a lot to get you in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they always say like success begets success. Right. So, those little small wins, right. And then they add up and they make you want to keep going. And so, and just know you're never bothering your coach like that. We're going to talk about the kind of the 4 components of this program, what has always set us apart. And if you haven't embraced this or thought, well, I don't have time for that, here's why you would want to do it. But one of the things is to have communication and connection with your coach. Your coach is just your guide. They're going to be your resource, be able to point you in the right direction to find answers. If they don't know the answer, we can figure it out together. But most importantly, they're your encourager and your biggest cheerleader. So for me, like, it is awesome when I get, a message from Pat and she tells me her weight and she's down and I can cheer her on, like, right. And there would be no judgment if I couldn't, right. Like, I would also help her find the positive and et cetera, because we can often beat up ourselves more than somebody else would, right? So having that person who can be objective and come alongside you. So with this challenge, and really in general with your program, we're going to encourage that you talk to your coach once a week. So either it's most preferable to have a set time. And that's actually a verbal conversation. There's just so much to be said for being able to hear that inflection in your voice, the tone, what you're saying, not saying. And so you can have that relationship, and there will be times in that, like, you're rocking and rolling and you're like, I'll just text, nothing really to talk about. I feel great. It's important to go ahead and talk, because that builds up that trust and that confidence, so that when there is a time that you might be struggling or you're planning for an event, it's easier to have those harder conversations because you've already established that. So that is one of the 4 things that will be part of this challenge, is that you are making a commitment that you will talk to your coach at least once a week. So text them now or whatever, reach that, figure out when your appointments are going to be, and go ahead and get your appointment for this week on the calendar. The second is our Habits of Health education system. So we have our life book and our Habits of Health book. They're 2 different ways to approach the Habits of Health is more of kind of a textbook, academic approach to the behavioral and the lifestyle change, whereas the life book goes more internal within you and asks you to actually answer questions, and you kind of come up with your own answers about maybe what is it I really want, what's been holding me back, etc. And it's your journal of self-discovery. So we have a reading guide for you. You're basically going to do an assignment Monday through Saturday. It is literally designed for it to take you 3 to 5 minutes a day. So maybe decide now when that's going to be. Like for me, I'm more of a morning person. So with my coffee, it makes sense for me to do that in the morning. So you're going to have your guide, and at 7:30 tonight, there's going to be a post in the group, and these 3 resources are going to be posted there with the link. So you can go ahead and grab them from there. So you'll get a point for doing your reading. Now, another option, because some of us just aren't readers, right? You just might not be a reader. But if you will commit to watching or listening to the Monday night community call, you can watch it live with us on our watch party, or listen to it on podcast, on replay. You can do that. Some people are auditory learners, some are visual learners, but that's just another way that we can make this more than just the diet or the eating plan. The third piece of it is every day at 7 a.m., there's going to be a post in Eat, Live, and Be Healthy. It is super easy to find. It's color back. Like tomorrow is going to be purple, and it's going to say Body Reboot Day 1 with a question for you. And all we want you to take is 1 to 2 minutes and just answer the question. So interacting with your community, your shares will help somebody else, because there's some things we're going to ask for your tips on things. And then what other people say are going to help you and inspire you. And then the last piece of it is that you follow your eating plan. So I'm guessing, are most of us, you can just maybe raise your hand here, most of us doing the 5 and 1 plan? Yeah, most of us are doing the 5 and 1. You may be doing a variation depending on your workouts, maybe doing our active program, maybe you're on maintenance, whatever. But we do have a checklist for the 5 and 1. For some people, that makes it easier for them to be able to check off their fuelings, to be able to check off their water, condiments, etc. So we have a checklist you can use for that. But my best advice would be to follow the plan as designed. So pulling out that Optavia guide and pulling out that food scale. And even if you've been around the block with us and you've done the program before, you kind of think you know what your portions are, just going back to basics, because the program is science. It's been clinically studied by Johns Hopkins, University. If you follow it, like Pat said with her experience this week, if you follow it, it works. And so most often I find if people are not getting the results they're looking for, or it's not as quick as they want it to be, it's sometimes because we're kind of 5 and 1-ishing it. We're kind of winging our portions, or maybe adding in a little bit of this or a little bit of that. And those things do make a difference. So following it as designed, I would really just challenge yourself to kind of play the what if game. Like, what if I really followed this? Like, what if I did it? What would it feel like? What would my results be like? So that is that. Somebody just asked where the daily posts are, and they are in Facebook in the Eat, Live, and Be Healthy group. So those will be there. And then I'm also going to show you, give me 1 second. I'm just going to show you a couple of these documents, and then we'll open it up for your questions. Okay. So for example, like this will be posted, and I can even post the link right now for you in the chat, but this is the reading guide. We'll be starting tomorrow. You'll actually be in your life book. We're going to be talking about building a healthy mindset and kind of loving where you are right now. So that's going to be super helpful. And there's just every day you see it's, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, short things, Sunday off, just, Saturdays are usually just to be able to catch up, just in case you had a busy week, couldn't get it all in. So that is one of the checklists. The other is, this is a tracker for the 5 and 1. if you can use it, not use it. But here's where you get your water in, cross it off. You can just print these off at home. The little gas tanks are your fueling, so check those off when you have them. Check off, you know, your protein portions, etc. So that is a tool you can use. And then the last one is we have a point tracker for you to keep track of. Again, this is an active spreadsheet. So what you would have to do is you would download it and then it'll add things up for you. But like if you meet with your coach, you're going to put in here a 1 for week 1. So you have your phone call with them. You know, and then you number of days that you went all in on your plan, you know, well, maybe I was at 6 for this week, etc. And then it's going to add up your points for you. And every Monday, we are going to have a Google form for you to fill out with your results. So how many points did you get this week? You know, how many pounds did you lose this week? It's going to be important for you to record your starting weight, and we will ask you that question. And then we're going to give a couple of bonuses. Like if you send a picture of your feet on the scale to your coach, so your feet with your weight, it's a real raw accountability thing to do, we'll give you a bonus point for the week. And then if you happen to share your journey on social media, we'll give you on your main Facebook wall, we'll give you a point for that as well. So each week we'll do some drawings. We'll have some, you know, just some fun prizes, some wellness credit on your account. Might be something fun that we send you through Amazon. But go ahead and enter, even if you don't have the perfect week, go ahead and enter your results with it, because we want to celebrate you, and it helps us to know the effectiveness of these challenges as well. And we'll be asking for your feedback on it. So that is what I came with. Pat has shared. What did we not answer? What questions do you might have? Comments? Wow. Who's excited? Who's excited? Yeah. Who feels a little nervous? But you know what? We like to keep it real. We like to keep it real. You know, you're making changes. You know, we talk with our coach team and I say, you know, we're not selling lipstick, right? It's not like we give you something and say, you know what, you look pretty, enjoy it. Like this is behavioral and lifestyle change. And so congratulations for showing up for yourself, saying that I want to improve my habits. I want to improve my lifestyle. I want to feel better. I want to be the best version of myself.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit out there.
To be able to do it. All right. So it looks like, unless you have a question, feel free to unmute or raise your hand. I think we covered all the bases. So at 7:30 tonight, that post will come up with the link. So you're just going to have your reading guide, the daily tracker, and then the weekly tracker for you. If you can't find them, just reach out to your coach. Make sure you've registered. If you haven't registered, make sure you've registered with the registration link. So because we'll do a lot of our updates through email. Good. Lori Pulver says she's driving home with her family, so she can't come on, but she's super excited. So we're happy to have you a part of it, Lori. And I know you and Linda got to see Dr. Anderson himself yesterday at the live event. So that is exciting. So, all right. So you are here, you are committed. We're here to support you. That's what Optavia is about. So I'm proud of each one of you guys. Look forward to the updates, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in these next 5 weeks. So that is it. Have a good rest of your Sunday, you guys. Bye.